This YCN segment is brought to you by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Durazio, joining you from Beach Hill Farm with Rick MacMillan of Applied Solar Technologies. He's a veteran in the solar industry with over 25 years experience under his belt, and including the fact he lived for 10 years off-grid. He knows exactly what these systems can do and can't do. So he's going to give us a realistic chat about what solar can do for our life. Thank you for joining us, Rick.
Hey, you're quite welcome. Glad to be here.
Now, solar recently has come into the forefront as people have wanted to go green or perhaps be more energy efficient. But over the last 25 years, you've seen some solar trends come and go.
Yes, back when I first did solar, there was no such thing as a grid tie. So you either were off-grid in some cabin in the woods. In my case, it actually was a 3-bedroom, 2-story house in the woods. But that's what it was, and there was only myself and one other installer in New Hampshire in this area that I know of. So now everybody's an installer, it seems, and there are a lot of differences. And the grid tie now has evolved into the current scenario where the least expensive option is grid tie, make your meter go backwards,
Right.
effectively reducing your bill every month. Batteries typically are very expensive. Battery technology is the one thing that's really starting to change now, which I'm very excited about.
Right.
There are some new lithium-ion type batteries out there that are okay. They will get the job done. They're not very recyclable, so I'm not in huge favor of that, but
Right.
the technology is changing very much, and there are a lot of options out there. So we went from off-grid to grid tie. I love the off-grid stuff. It's a lot of fun for me. I get to see a lot of really cool places where people are thrilled to go in and hit a switch instead of turning on a kerosene lamp
Right.
on these properties that may have been in the family for as much as 50 or more years. But we also have a halfway deal, which is what I have at my house, where it's grid tie battery backup.
Right. And that's something our viewers might not understand. They assume, oh, the lights go out, but I got solar, I'm okay. No.
Right. The grid tie systems, which is probably 99.5% of the installs going in now, the power shuts off with the utility, then the solar system is designed to shut down immediately for safety, so you're not frying somebody that's out working on the lines.
And that's important.
Yeah, they wouldn't be happy, and their family wouldn't be happy. It'd be a really bad thing. So in any case, the grid tie battery backup system does work just like a grid tie. It will produce the power off your solar and push it back into the grid if you're not using it. But also, if your power goes out, your TV typically won't even blink, your lights won't blink, and your power will be continuous running off the batteries.
Kind of like having a standby generator
It's
system.
like a standby generator, except there's no pause in between with a standby generator system. Yep, there's no switching in there. So I've been watching television, and the only reason that I know the power's out is because all the neighbors' lights go out.
And I don't think many people realize that the trend right now in terms of trying to make solar more affordable is a leased system, but those generally don't have that battery backup.
Yeah, the leased system, for somebody, if there's no other option to me, that's a good system, but if there is any other option, it's not a great system. So in other words, some solar is better than no solar, but the owned systems have a lot of advantages. One is it will pay for itself a lot quicker than if you're leasing it from somebody. In the end, on a lease, you own it. A friend of mine that's in the real estate industry has had some issues with lease systems.
Right, and that's coming up.
People wanted to buy the house, but they didn't want the solar system. So getting it removed properly for the sake of selling the house is kind of a nightmare. And he ran into that in a number of situations so far. So he had called me and asked, what I thought about it. Actually, it was a house that he was looking at personally. And he asked me, he said, why would I want to buy a house that I have to take over a lease on a system when I can just buy the system brand new, have it installed on my house, on another house, and have it paid for in 8 years versus picking up a lease for another 10 or 12 years.
Right.
So, buying it is absolutely the best option. It's got the fastest payback, and it makes the most sense. The best investment really is.
And it sounds like with your 25 years experience, you can help tailor a system realistically to meet our needs and our expectations for going solar. Remember, if you want to go solar, contact Rick MacMillan of Applied Solar Technologies.